All right, so we figured out how to create these markers and add them to our text. The one thing that we haven't done though is figured out how to store these, because obviously we need to store these in order to insert our cross references. So let's see how we could do that. Let's make this. Let's change this to get marker data. Let's do that. Let's change that to that. And I'll show you why we're going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an array to store these, to store this marker data. And then we're going to return it to the main function. So we're going to say markers equals, and then we're just going to create an empty array. And then for each marker, what we're going to do here is we are going to add that marker to the array. And actually, we don't really have to add the marker. We could add the marker text to the array. So let's go ahead and do that. So it's going to be markers push, and then we're going to say marker text. And we're only going to do this if a marker actually gets inserted. And we're pretty sure that a marker is either going to get inserted or an existing marker is going to be picked up. So we're going to add it here. And then what will happen is we need to return it. So we need to return it to the calling function. So we're going to say return markers. So this will return that array. And then let's make another process doc function. So we want to isolate what we're doing here. So we'll have two calls here in this one. We're going to say, okay, let's get the marker data. And that's, again, going to be an array, but that array is going to be created in this function. So we're going to call this, we're going to say marker data equals get marker data, and we're going to pass in the document object. And let's make these match. It's always better if they match. It's a little less confusing. So we're going to make that say marker data, because we're going to push the marker text. We're not actually going to return the marker objects. There's really no need to do that. We just need the marker text for our cross references when we create them. And then we'll have a new function that will actually insert the cross references. So we'll say insert xrefs. And then what we'll do is we'll pass it the document object and we'll pass it the marker data. Now this, we're going to comment this out because we haven't written this yet. But this isolates it. So this kind of makes everything kind of neat. You've got everything in this process doc function. The two main things that it's doing, get the cross ref marker data, and then insert the cross references. So we've kind of broken this down into two main tasks, and of course there's a bunch of subtasks, but this will help us with that. Now let's just see what we get here. And what we'll want to do is we'll want to display this, and we can just display this. We can display the array that gets returned. Let's see if that works. So let's run this here. And yeah, so we get a 3-member array with each of the marker text, and we can see that in the marker pod. Let's just organize this a little bit better. Let's go back to the script. And we will say this is an array, so we can actually join it and make it into a string, and then we'll separate each member with a return, so it just shows it a little bit neater. Let's see if that works. Let's go back here and let's run this. Yeah, so that just gives it to you in a little bit neater presentation. And the nice thing is, because we process the paragraphs in flow order, we know that from top to bottom these are in the correct order, and that'll help us when we insert our cross references in the next video.